It's time.
Yeah, I see them coming.
Watch the start-finish line here at Talladega, not in the middle of the tri-oval, all the way down, headed toward turn 1, DW. One more time, reach up there and pull those seat belts tight.
Everybody's on their feet. Let's go racing, boys. Boogity, boogity, boogity!
Restrictor plate.
Take about a lap for that to happen, but it won't take long for them to get about 5 deep back through there.
No preferred groove of racing here. The preferred groove is the line that's moving, whether it's the inside or the outside line, Darrell.
This looks very orderly for a first lap at Talladega.
Give them a little time.
I don't know. Maybe they got had some kind of message in the drivers' meeting today that we don't know about. The guys did see what happened yesterday on the 10th lap, so they're being a little on the cautious side, I guess.
Hermie Sadler was way up there 3 wide, and Mayfield. First time he led a lap here in the fall race last year, and that was the last lap he's led in Winston Cup racing. He's out front in lap 1.
Darrell, looks like that inside line right now is the line that's moving.
Riding with Jeff Gordon.
Oh man, there's somebody way up on the outside. It looked like Rusty back there, just squeezing between in the wall.
You heard the pitch of those engines never changing. They are wide open all the way around this 2.66 mile track.
Rusty Wallace had Greg Biffle up alongside, and that clogged things up at that point.
Well, the airhand cars, the 2 Dodges of Elliott and the pole setter there at Mayfield, along with Ryan Newman and Rusty Wallace, they were the fastest cars in practice.
Casey Mears, that target car outside of Ricky Craven and Michael Waltrip. Mears going to drift back a little bit here.
Normally, Darrell, you don't like to be in the middle, but looked like Ricky Craven in the Tide 32 car. He had a pretty good line of cars with him.
What you want to do is go up through the middle, get as far as you can, but then you got to find a line, because if you don't, you'll go right to the back again. The middle's good for passing and moving up, but you can't stay there.
Rusty Wallace, number 2, trying to drag a group of cars up way on the outside.
I always like to call that middle the sucker hole. It looks good, baby. There's nobody there, and you just think you're going on, but it's like you hit a roadblock up through there.
Told you, we promised we'd talk about this. There's 43 cars out there. That last lap, all but 5 cars changed positions.
Wow. See the guy in the middle there, see how the guy's on the outside. Now, he'll go forward as he get on the straightaway, but then when he gets to the corner, he'll fall back again. Now, we talk just like we saw yesterday. You worry about a driver mistake, a mental error. But yesterday we saw a mechanical problem that caused the big one.
Right. Johnny Sauter running forth, cut down a tire. Trouble, turn 1. Hard, a car in the wall, and spinning down to the bottom. There's going to be 10 or more cars involved. Johnny Benson. Here they come to the flag, and everybody pretty much out of the throttle. Mayhem in turn 1.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. I want to check. He may have been involved in that. There he is right there.
I think he made it. He was so far in the back, Larry. I think he made it through okay.
A little bit of damage to his left front. There you see Ryan Newman in the 12 car.
Casey Mears, the nose of his Dodge torn up as well. And Hermie Sadler has crashed out of this race.
No dreams today for Hermie.
This was his very first restrictor plate race start, Hermie.
Jeff Burton on the right, Casey Mears on the left. Darrell, there was contact and one car shot up. Hard hit to the outside wall. Flames erupted, and everybody piled in.
Well, let's see if we can get some kind of idea about what happens here.
Darrell, I believe the 12 car, Ryan Newman, looks like he was out of shape, maybe starting to get loose by himself.
And Newman almost flipped over.
Remember, he had that hard crash at Daytona where he got on his roof back in February.
I can't imagine that there wasn't some sort of contact that started that, because that looked so violent. Man, that car was almost on its top right there. It hit that wall a ton.
Rusty Wallace, his teammate, the 2 cars involved.
as they come through, watch for the last two cars, which I believe, there's Earnhardt Jr. up high getting through with Schrader and Tony Raines. Jr. and Raines are the last two to get through from Rusty Wallace.
That was Ryan Newman's tire right there bouncing over the fence.
There's Dale Jr. right there. Look at him.
I think he got just a little bit of damage on that left front.
Let's ride with Dale Jr.
Yeah, right there he got in the back of the 30 car. Can't see a thing. Look at that.
And this is the camera, but remember, he's seeing the same thing out that windshield.
Except his windshield doesn't clear like this one.
Schrader got into the side of him a little bit, and he got a little damage to the front when he got in the back of the 30 car, but otherwise I think he's going to be all right. I'm not so sure that Mark Martin in the 12 car didn't make some contact.
Man. Tire went completely over the fence, outside the racetrack.
Did the Jimmy Horton. Matt Yoakum.
Mike, over the past 45 to 50 seconds, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been talking on the radio, diagnosing the cosmetic damage to the car. He said he got into the back of the 30, which you saw in our video. There is damage to the left front bottom fascia. They've got a piece of aluminum already cut to do some work. He also said he got into the 49 of Ken Schrader. Not sure about the right side or the rear. They're going to change the tires because he flat spotted them by locking them up. As Phil Dry's trying to work on that left front corner, they're beating it out. Now he's got the hammer. Not as bad as they thought by listening to him on the radio or watching the video. But remember, aerodynamics so important. But remember back to Daytona 2 years ago where he lost the whole right front fender. They replaced it, and he was just as fast or faster. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal here. But aerodynamics so important as they are cutting another piece of aluminum here to work on that front corner.
Let's have a look from Matt Kenseth. A lot of damage there.
And Mike, the good thing about these guys working on their cars on pit road, the pace car's running 70 miles an hour, but it takes almost 3 minutes to get around this racetrack. Now, when you're working on a race car, that don't seem like long, but that's a lot more than anywhere else we go.
Tony Stewart with a little damage. Here's Steve.
And Mike, Mark Martin assessing the damage to the rear end of the number 6 Viagra car. Mark, what happened?
The 12 car had a tire go down right rear. And golly, I tell you, this Viagra team just, I tell you, I can't believe it. We just can't get on a roll, you know. We run so good on the racetrack, and man, we've just been really up against, we had a lot of good luck, I guess, last year, but boy, it's sure coming back on us this year.
Mark, there's a lot of damage. Can you get the race car back out there?
Yeah, we'll get back out there, but it sure ain't going to be pretty. You know, our day is wasted, and it's just, you know, I'm disappointed. We had a reasonable car, and nothing was going on there, and there was nothing that anybody could, you know, I was just in the right spot to be in a wreck. The 12 car had looked like a right rear or a left rear go down, and he crossed up, and there was no way to do anything. You know, there was no way to avoid it.
Thanks, Mark.
26 cars in all, Ricky Rudd's among them, involved in this accident in turn 1. Let's ride with Ricky Rudd.
Involved in that wreck.
And remember, that's at 190 miles an hour.
Hermie Sadler. Day ends early. 6 laps complete in the Aaron's 499.